Hi, hi, hi. It's Mikate. Thanks for tuning on in. Today's going to be another awesome stream, a little bit of a longer one today. So rather than the normal, just kind of go all at once, we'll be taking a couple of breaks so that I can get water, you can get water, and it's all a good time. But either way, we're going to be continuing onwards with the Fontaine quest line, and it should be a super interesting time. Last time we got to know a little bit more about Risley and also the general situation in Fontaine, so I'm sure we'll learn even more here today. Should be pretty fun. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Hello! Good morning. Okay, I think we need to go here. I don't know. I think of all the areas, the layout of this one is probably the most rough in terms of figuring out the navigation. Or good evening in Europe, yeah. Yeah, it definitely depends. Okay, so we need to go more up then, which is this one, I think. Alright, so. Oh, we have to decide what we're gonna share, don't we? Right. Ooh. Yeah, that's a tricky one, honestly. Could be problematic either way.
Welcome back. Do you want a cup of tea?
How can you be so much like Risley, always drinking tea?
Huh. Actually, now that you mention it, I just remembered something now. While I was sedated, I could still barely hear two people talking next to me. They were discussing everything, from the leaves to the water and even the teacups themselves.
Did you get brainwashed into liking tea more by Risley? I mean, if you did, that's hilarious.
Must have been Risley and Sishwin.
They are? Really? No. No, I haven't heard that. What's up with them?
Yeah, I heard one male voice and one female, so it should have been the two of them. They really were just talking about brewing tea.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. Thanks for letting me know.
I really can't make sense of this place.
So, Traveler, Paimon, were you able to learn anything from Risley?
Yeah, he explained everything.
Maybe don't say that. That might not be the way to go.
Very well. Then, would you mind checking your answers against my speculations? Yeah, I took the time to rest, so I'm feeling a lot more relaxed now.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, I will figure that one out. That's interesting. Whoops. Yeah, I'll have to check my settings.
Nobody else is around, and Miss Sijwin is also busy with something or other, so let's just talk here.
Alright, then I'll posit my theories. I asked myself 3 questions. Firstly, why was Fremine affected by the primordial seawater? It was because he dove into the sea. My theory is, The long-lost Primordial Sea is probably very close to the Fortress of Meripede.
Well, he's not wrong. He's probably figured out most of it, I would think.
Ooh, he's good. He got that right on the first try.
That's our Linny.
Secondly, Risley's attitude changed dramatically during the course of our stay here. He ignored us completely at first, then suddenly roadblocked us. Why? I spent quite a long time thinking about this. If he has been monitoring the Fatui since the very beginning, he probably ignored us at first because he was hoping we could find Master Child for him.
Wow. Yeah, he's really got it, doesn't he? Well, I guess that saves us the issue of whether to tell him or not.
What's more, the Fortress of Meripede is not part of Fontaine's court system, nor does it report to Udex Nervulet. Risley is basically the king of a no-man's land. As long as the fortress doesn't do anything about Master Child's disappearance, Father can use it to pressure the Fontaine authorities. And while the two factions are pitted against each other, Risley will be free to move between the parties of interest.
I mean, yeah. Not seeing anything wrong with that assessment just yet.
If I had to guess, he probably has something that he's working on himself. It's likely related to the secret of the infirmary, but I just can't think of what it could be.
You're super smart.
Thanks so much. Then finally, there's the last question. If Risley does have a plan, what could it be? All I know for now is that his plan probably has something to do with the changing nature of the seawater. He's even gotten Cloran to help him out. That can't be the full extent of what he's doing. There's probably a secret passageway behind the block in the infirmary, and there's something big in the fortress that most people here never get to see. He has a bargaining chip, and it could be important enough for Father to deal with him directly. I don't have enough information, so I have no idea what his chip might be. But let me guess. You have the last piece of the puzzle.
Maybe. We just might. Yeah, I mean, at this point, he knows like 99% of everything. There's not much use in keeping the rest of
I
it.
can't believe it.
The sea will engulf everyone. Just like the prophecy said.
Could Risley have wanted to meet Father to figure out a way to deal with this crisis? If you remember, I once mentioned that Father sees the House of the Hearth as her base of operations, and she truly wants to resolve the crisis. But how could Risley have known that?
Or perhaps he didn't know and just wanted to bring Father over to his side, which could be why he said he just wanted to negotiate.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I understand your concerns as well, Traveler. I'll figure out a way to pass this on to our father. No matter what, we're on your side.
I have a feeling that your loyalties are going to be tested coming up here, friend. Unfortunately for you.
The two of you have already aided us far too much. We probably wouldn't be standing here right now if not for you. If you ever need anything else going forward, please come to the House of the Hearth at any time. Though you may not share the sentiment, after all that we've gone through together, the three of us basically see you as family now.
You have my gratitude.
Thank you for protecting Linny when it really mattered. And thank you for sharing the secrets of the fortress with us. We didn't think you were going to do it.
Why are you being so formal all of a sudden?
Oh, Paimon.
Paimon's hungry.
Of course you are. You always are.
Oh, you've done so much already. Go get some food.
Alright, then we'll catch you guys another time.
Oh, so let's go grab some food for poor Paimon.
Then 10 points for agility.
Probably hasn't eaten in a while, I guess, considering the everything, so that's fair, I suppose. Oh,
It's time for dinner. Welfare meals now being served in the coupon cafeteria.
we're gonna hope that that cutscene saved us there, because that was a very long fall if not.
Come on, let's go pick up ours as well. Traveler and Paimon, over here. Are you here for dinner too, Miss Sijwin?
Mm-hmm. And I'm taking the opportunity to prepare Miss Cloran's dinner as well.
Huh. You're right. She's actually sitting in the fortress cafeteria.
What would you like to eat? Yep, you can. I've already talked to our chef, Mr. Wolsey. It's all on me today, so you can get whatever you'd like.
Oof. That will be unfortunate. Oh well. Yeah, that's nasty when they cutscene you too close to the ground like that.
Me too. Don't forget Paimon.
Well, at the very least,
No problem. Just leave it to me.
I'll have plenty of fried eggs, so we can just revive. Usually, I feel like most of the time with the cutscenes, maybe I just fly early enough, I don't know, and start gliding, but I feel like
So delicious.
usually they don't have that happen. Right? Or I've just never actually fallen straight into one.
Paimon's so happy. Paimon wants to feast like this every day.
Feeling full yet? How's the food?
Delicious.
I'm so glad to see you all so happy. Oh, see, the expression on your face just now? The muscle here just moved, which suggests that you're feeling quite relaxed at the moment.
Sijwin, do you do this to help your patients or to better understand human beings?
My guess is the answer is a bit of both.
A bit of both, I suppose.
Yep.
I'm a Melusine, which means I'm very different from human beings. I must know what you're thinking if I want to take good care of you.
Again, so many questions about that statement. Does she have a story quest? I hope she does, because I have questions.
You're really good at taking care of people. Even though you're so short, you still talk and act like an older sister.
Really? You're reminded of an older sister? That's great to hear.
Oh, and what did you mean back in Risley's office? When you said that you were protecting Linny and his siblings as well?
Oh, that. I just asked His Grace to look out for those children, especially that diver boy. I was getting a bit worried after hearing that something was wrong with the water. Thankfully, Clorand is very strong and managed to save him in the nick of time. His Grace also sealed the pipes after Clorand left, to make sure that Linny wouldn't impulsively chase after his brother. Although the path was blocked, we still stationed some guards there to stop anyone from approaching. They were instructed to only open the door once Miss Clorand had returned.
Ah, makes
Oh, and
sense.
I was keeping an eye on Mr. Linny as well. We had to press him, but we couldn't allow him to be in any real danger.
You were all super considerate and really thought everything through.
It's just what we do down here at the fortress. At least this has been His Grace's style for as long as he's been the leader. Oh, I really wish Monsieur Nervula would come down here more often too. I feel like he'd like it here, with all the darkness and chaos.
She sounds a little too excited about that, I would think. She's cute though. She's also got a little bit of an obsession with Mr. Nouvelette here, but that's cool. Yeah, no. I don't feel like he would vibe down here. Maybe. But doesn't strike me as his kind of scene.
Get a good night's rest, you two. You both worked very hard.
That is so unfortunate. My poor guy. Alright, you. So sorry, Kanich. Really didn't mean to do that to you. Okay. Top level is this one, I think.
Adventure time!
I feel like the more I'm running around here, the more I'm getting a hang of this, but at least at first it was kind of rough to navigate. They're getting a lot more vertical, it feels like, more recently. Like everything in, really, Inazuma backwards was quite spread out. Here, things are very vertical in terms of design.
So much has happened. Paimon just feels absolutely exhausted now that she's finally relaxed. Paimon's super sleepy. Are you sleepy too?
Of course, all of this doesn't answer any questions about what actually happened to Child. He's still gone.
Delicious. Paimon wants seconds for free.
Out of my way! Get out of my way! What happened? Why is everyone running? No idea, but something must have happened. Stop asking!
Well, that's not good. Lenny, what did you do?
Who's yelling? Paimon still wants to sleep.
It's called a crisis. There's a crisis ongoing, it seems. Oh, that's not a good noise. Not a fan of that.
You really are a one-trick pony, you know.
Uh-oh.
What happened? Why is everyone running around? Hey, what are you doing?
No time to explain, mate. Goodbye!
Hey, wait!
How helpful. Maybe we should follow them.
What's wrong with these people? They won't even talk to us.
They're here! Yeah, there you are!
Oh, thank goodness!
Oh. Our good friends, the Gossip Crew. Well, thank goodness they're at least willing to talk.
Quisto and Laveroon, do you know what happened here?
We came here especially to inform you. Something seems to have gone terribly wrong just now. His Grace is telling everyone to evacuate and get out of here. Laveroon was saying you two are new here and you don't have many friends, so you might slip through the cracks. Haven't you heard all the stories like that? An evacuation is successfully completed, yet you only find out once you do a head count that 1 or 2 people are missing.
Wait, weren't you the one who brought that up? Why is it suddenly my idea?
I don't care whose idea it was. It was very kind of you to think of it.
Hey, shut up!
Okay, whatever. The point is, you should come with us. Yeah, he said to get as far away as possible, upwards and outwards.
Uh-huh. Okay. Interesting. Are the water levels rising then? Yeah, that ain't good.
Oh no, it can't be that thing!
Whoa, wait, what? What? Hey, where are you going?
We have to go find the Duke! You two just go and get out! Go on without us!
Hey, hey! Be careful!
Thanks, we'll try. I doubt it, though.
Attention, please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as possible.
Definitely rising water levels, which is no good at all.
Please evacuate upwards and outwards,
Can we
upwards
get in?
and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as possible.
This is like the most annoying room ever. It really feels like if they're gonna make it all look like the doors, that they should all function as doors. Okay, we better go down there. Let's see. At the very least, we have proof that we won't dissolve, but there's an awful lot of people here who will, so that's not good at all.
They're here.
Just like I said.
What happened?
Oh, that's very bad.
You're just in time. But be ready to run.
What do you mean, run? Whoa. Oh, that's bad. Cool. Ah, he's crying. Oh no. Oh, that's bad.
Three, two, one.
Come on, go, go, go.
This won't hold it for long.
He is
Find New
so
Villette.
cool.
Tell him the defenses are about to collapse.
Then what will happen to you?
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense. The gate. How long do you think it'll hold?
That depends on us.
See, you know, can't tell me things like that. No, I was worried about this one from the start, to be honest, because what I've heard from everyone is that this quest line is so good.
Novelette, why are you here?
Traveler, I need you to head to the Opera House immediately.
We've got other problems.
Farina will soon be meeting with the knave there. You must protect Farina and make sure she doesn't spend too much time alone with her.
Okay, sure, we can do that, but like, you need to go.
Will do. You have my sincerest gratitude.
Okay, where? Just inside, it looks like. Yeah, that's what I've heard consistently, but it's also just been a series of events that have gotten more and more catastrophic, which has been making me increasingly nervous here. So I'm not surprised if things are gonna go
There are a ton of Fatilian Palais Mermonia people over there. The knave
badly.
is probably here already. We need to hurry. Are you two the traveler in Paimon? Monsieur Nervalet has left instructions. Please follow me. Though I'm sure he's already explained, this should be a mostly cordial conversation, unlikely to give rise to violence. But it would be most appreciated if you could protect Lady Farina to the best of your abilities.
Yeah, we'll have to see if that cordial nature of the conversation lasts. Somehow I doubt it a little bit.
Oh, so you two are the honored guests Miss Farina mentioned.
Of course, of course. How could they not attend a meeting such as this? I must always have 2 or more guests at my dessert table. Otherwise, the occasion would be too lonely and unbecoming of my station.
All right then. Sure.
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler. I have heard much of your accomplishments. I am the Knave, one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers.
I've already prepared seats for you. Come, sit beside me.
Okay. Fair enough. Also, interesting choice in a location in particular where they do tend to stand on propriety for a fair bit of things, it seems like. Like, that's a clear statement if we're sitting next to her. If that's kind of, it's essentially, like, it's a subtle statement, but it's very clear that we're with her rather than it being three separate parties, which is really curious. I mean, it's true, but for her to go right out and say it is quite interesting. Well, not say, but, you know, imply.
Perhaps you two are unaware of how Miss Farina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to get together for tea when we had the time. See this? This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Farina simply adores. There are only 16 slices sold every day. Here, why don't you and Paimon have a taste?
Yeah, no. Dangerous. Definitely dangerous.
Traveler, what do you think of this cake?
That's good to hear. So what Child said was on the mark after all. You do share a taste in desserts with Farina and I.
Okay. She's being weird. It is a really pretty cake. I wonder what flavor it is. Like, it's green, so it feels like matcha maybe, but the thing that looks like a cherry on top is throwing me. Yeah, that's weird. That's a weird, weird statement.
I wonder how he's doing nowadays. You must have heard, right? He's suddenly gone missing. I'm really worried about his safety, you know. Here's to hoping that he's an excellent swimmer.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, he's probably in quite rough shape, I would think, considering everything.
Since we're talking about him, I feel like I should add something. His martial prowess really looked certainly pretty impressive, yeah.
Right, okay. Sure. Are you going for flattery here? 'Cause he got one-shotted.
Oh, so you're also familiar with his aptitude for fighting, Miss Farina. Oh, right. I almost forgot. Child was subdued by Udex Nuvillette right in front of you. Against ordinary people, my colleague would never be on the back foot. But alas, he just never imagined he'd run into such a person. I must express my admiration for Monsieur Nuvillette. Coming from you, that's not surprising at all.
No, I mean, considering her exploits.
But I thought you would be happier to hear the news.
Well, it's not as if we found him.
Of course, but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been far happier had I received this news somewhat earlier. As you well know, a long time has passed since Child disappeared.
Well, in any case, there's no need to worry. We know for sure that Child is still alive.
Oh, and just how do you know that?
Well, we've got his vision. But that's gonna be tricky to explain.
Because we found evidence that proved he left the Fortress of Mirapede.
And where did he go after leaving the fortress?
Well...
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
The Fortress of Mirapede lies deep beneath the waves. Unless he pranced right out of the main gate, he must have had to swim for it. Do you have any proof that he surfaced safely?
Well, not safely, but we have proof he's still alive.
Ah, that is good news at least. His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaine not too long ago. Since he was unfortunately unavailable, I picked it up on his behalf. Do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya, your letter made me feel like we were still enjoying our time in Snezhnaya together. I'm currently admiring the scenery on the streets in front of the opera house. Is it something like that?
I'm not positive, but I doubt it a little bit.
All letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long as the contents are accurate, it doesn't matter so much how it's written or how it's worded.
Well, unless you're gonna confuse her. Like, I'm assuming she knows her brother well enough to pinpoint. They certainly would write enough letters considering where Child's been for the last who knows how long since Liyue. Are you good, Furina?
Hold on. The water in the teacup is shaking.
Uh-oh. Well, that's not good either.
I suppose this is also a sign of things to come, Miss Furina.
Huh? I don't quite understand what you're trying to say.
Have we entered into the next stage of the prophecy?
Oh, there he is.
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
Sure you don't need a hand?
Quite sure.
Wow. So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess. Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Sounds about right. Oh.
Whoa.
A day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled, and the waters burst forth. But it is not this day! This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race. A tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe.
Whoa.
This sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
He is so cool. I love him so much.
All right. Seems like the problem inside has been suppressed.
At least for now.
Let me guess. We're safe for now.
Indeed. But only for now.
I win this bet. You owe me a present.
Very well. It was indeed just as you said.
You made a bet?
We made a bet on the size of your entourage. Cloran thought you wouldn't come down by yourself.
That's funny.
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for appearance's sake. It appears I underestimated just how confidential the mission was.
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by now? That's just how the courts operate.
So what gift must the loser give? Tea?
He already has tons of tea in his office. I'm thinking about a set of legal codices.
Watching these three interact is so funny to me because, like, they don't vibe like they would get along, but they also clearly do. And it's great.
That wouldn't happen to be a dig at my lack of legal awareness, would it?
Well, I'm sure His Grace doesn't consider the fortress to be outside the law.
I was under the impression the residents of a place like this would be uninterested in the legal codices.
That was obviously a joke. Anyway, you've still got some unfinished business to attend to in the overworld, correct?
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't leave Palais Mermonia for long.
Thank you. I hope everything went smoothly with the Fatui Harbinger.
That was such a good animation.
I must say, we've spent long enough playing house.
Honestly, like I can't get over that. That was just beautiful. Like every second of it. That's definitely one of those ones that I'm gonna go back and rewatch because like it was gorgeous. And I'm sure there's lots of hidden details that I missed. Because like there were all those symbols around, like there was a lot happening there. So I'm gonna have to rewatch it. But that was so cool. They did a really great job with that. And I feel like the leaning into the blues that they've done here, they have done such a good job with like their shade ranges and making it not look like too flat and getting that glow effect. Like the animation has been just on point.
Miss Farina, as the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact meaning of the phenomenon we just witnessed. Or should I say, that's what I originally thought. But looking at your expression, was I wrong? And you haven't a clue?
What are you trying to say?
At this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomatic representatives. Allow me to speak to you now as just a Fontainian. You know the prophecy by heart, and also that every part of it is being proven true. Yet, here you are, relaxing, drinking tea, and eating desserts as if it's all nothing more than a few stray bugs in your garden. Do you really think that's acceptable?
Ooh. I mean, it's certainly a fair enough point. In this one instance, Nuvolet seems to have had it covered, but I suppose that's true.
The prophecy's hanging above our necks like a guillotine. Every faction is looking for a way to either avert the disaster or save their own. Even the orphans of the House of the Hearth have devoted everything to saving their homeland. But you, it beggars belief just how nonchalant and carefree you have been. From the very beginning, you, the god Focalor, you have utterly failed to take action.
You're wrong. I've never ignored the prophecy, nor have I just been passing the time in self-indulgence. Retract your accusation and stop doubting the wisdom of the gods with such absurd conjectures!
I am not alone in my doubts, you know. All the children of Fontaine may be harboring the exact same thoughts right now.
I mean, she's probably not wrong. It's a fair judgment if you only know
great
what you've
Hydro
seen.
Archon. How are you going to save them? Save us? How are the people you've sworn to protect supposed to survive in a land that will soon disappear beneath the waves?
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Even if you look down upon me, you have no right to judge me. Fontaine will be saved. Even if I still cannot see the true future right now, as long as I continue on as I am, I will be able to hold my head up high.
See, this feels different from her like normal dramatizations that she does. There's a different tone of voice happening here. I actually kind of buy that she's got a plan in place here. It's usually pretty obvious when she's kind of making her way up or trying to grapple for recovery, but this does not feel like that. Which makes me curious as to what the plan is exactly. Oh? Yeah, so there's definitely a plan then.
Then I ask you, Miss Farina, just what have you been working on? Where can we see it, and what is it doing to help?
Why would she tell you that? Oh, she's good. She's good at getting riled up, isn't she? That's her goal. She wants to know what the plan is. Oh, she's tricksy. Don't say anything.
My machinations are just like the prophecy itself. They will only reveal themselves at the fated time. It is just that beings like yourselves are unable to perceive them as of yet.
I see. As a god, the proof of your labor always lies beyond prying mortal eyes. Allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Would it be possible for you to tell us the parts of your plan that are not confidential? Such as your emergency response plan for the impending disaster?
An emergency response plan?
Yeah, she didn't have one of those. Kind of seems to me like the emergency response plan would be New Palette here, unfortunately.
Oh, that look in your eyes. Have you not even prepared one of those?
The emergency response plan is also strictly confidential.
Okay, so we're back to lying now.
Then allow me to jog your memory. Miss Farina, what is the purpose of your Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal? And what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of indemnitium that has accumulated over the years?
The Oratrice? It's just like it appears to be.
So you also have no idea. If I'm not mistaken, someone's using it to prepare for something. But unfortunately, it would seem that someone is not you, Miss Farina.
Oh. Uh-huh. I mean, there has been something consistently weird about that thing.
I first caught wind of this when Linny tried to investigate the Oratrice in the Opera House. You see, even just getting close to the core contaminated him with an extremely large amount of indemnitium. But even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly be working on, oh great Hydro Archon?
Huh. Really interesting.
Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Neuvillette is not at the tea party with us today. Miss Farina, I suppose you must have ordered him away to take care of some troublesome business.
Yeah, yes, that's exactly right. Please keep it a secret for me.
Of course I will. Although, I must say, Miss Farina, you seem quite insecure without the Udex by your side.
Oh. Stop poking at her. It's very rude. She's very good at it, though. It's honestly very impressive. Like, I respect it. I don't like it, but I respect it.
Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left, so please, help yourselves, everyone. Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the Udex. Why don't you take an extra slice of cake? Those who work hard deserve gratitude and praise.
I mean, I won't say no to that, although the last time we were gifted a cake, we got stuck in prison. Admittedly, it was on purpose, but like, I don't trust her and her cake.
You too, Paimon.
Thank you. Paimon will take you up on that offer. Oh, Paimon's super full. That cake was great.
If it's on my tea table, it must be of the highest quality. Yes, and we must thank the knave for bringing these over as well.
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake also felt greatly honored to be featured at Miss Farina's table, and I was merely catering to Miss Farina's tastes, seeking a chance to chat over tea. It is getting late. Why don't we call it a day? There are still a few matters that I need to take care of, so I must take my leave now.
Very well. We'll end it here.
Huh. Okay.
Mind seeing me off, traveler? We could use the opportunity to discuss Child before I must be on my way.
Paimon's coming too!
Suspicious. Ooh, those are cool doors. Also, this is just the prettiest room ever. Like, I love that. It's so gorgeous. Very different from the aesthetic out here, but I feel like it matches very well with, like, Farina, her outfit, her taste. So good. Okay, let's see what she has to say now that we're sort of separated. Because something clearly that she didn't want to say in front of Farina.
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, Child was just an excuse. I have no interest in your dealings with him.
That's what Paimon thought.
You lent your aid to the children of the House of the Hearth. As their father, I would like to express my gratitude. Do I look like an irresponsible father to you? The House of the Hearth is very important to me. You should know that I care deeply about my children.
Okay. Sure, I guess.
That was all. Formal topics should be discussed in formal settings, and informal topics in informal settings.
Oh. Well, okay then. That was the most innocent thing I think she could have asked us about, I suppose.
I know you just returned from the fortress of Meripede. Relax. I have no intention of trying to get anything out of you. Linny, Lynette, and Fremine are still there, and I trust their judgment and abilities.
They've all been working very hard and have always done all they can to fight back against anyone who tried to stop them. Especially Linny.
You mean Wriothesley. He's a tricky one to deal with. It's unfortunate that Linny's so eager to prove himself that he can't learn to rely on others, including me. By the way, and you can just consider this a bit of idle gossip, but what's your impression of Farina?
Well, that's a bit complicated. She's a little flighty and a little quick to action. I don't think she means any harm, but I think she doesn't necessarily consider her actions well enough to prevent harming unintentionally, I suppose.
You are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able to move around most easily. Allow me to share my perspective with you.
I'm curious, actually, on this one, and whether it's similar to our understanding and experiences.
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master Child was declared guilty and immediately transported to the fortress of Meripede.
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Does he not feel an ounce of shame for all the trouble he has caused? Forget it. He did give us an opportunity. I will be meeting someone shortly.
Most interesting.
Do you require help with any preparations?
No need. I will take care of it myself. I need to meet with Farina, the Hydro Archon. She is at the heart of Fontaine. But what's fascinating about her is that she often seems more like a celebrity than a working Archon.
Oh? Come over here, you little critter, you! You dare to run from me? Stop right this instant!
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But I didn't expect the chance to approach Farina to be handed to me on a silver platter. This is so easy, it's actually making me a bit suspicious.
Interesting. Okay, sure.
Anything left unguarded is usually just bait. But no one will blame someone for taking the bait. After all, from the moment it was attached to the hook, the bait is meant to be sacrificed.
Right? It's so pretty. Like, and it looks so cool. That would be a great option. Like, I feel like that is probably one that maybe they will do it eventually. I don't know. Again, I don't know the end of the story, but or if she's likely to pop up again or anything, but it feels like that could be a cool option for the future. Isn't she getting a rerun? I feel like I heard that. Maybe that's not true. Oh? She's certainly intimidating.
It's just as I guessed in the second before I struck. The Hydronosis is not currently held by the Archon. In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god at all. And I sense that she's under some kind of curse.
Who are you? And what are you trying to do? Please don't kill me! I'm begging you, please!
Huh. Yeah, that's not the reaction of I would expect from a proper. Ah, yeah, okay, 5.2. That's what I thought. I thought it was coming up at some point.
The fear in her pupils is genuine, so perhaps she's not bait after all. Either way, targeting her has lost all meaning.
Yeah, definitely a weird reaction from her. Huh.
I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my near assassination of Focalor. I suspect even Farina dares not mention this incident to anyone.
No, but it does explain why she's a little bit freaked out by you.
Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, Farina quietly cried alone. She was so scared that she could not sleep that night, nor could she even bring herself to eat her cake. There's no doubt that there's something wrong with her. I began to entertain the possibility that she is not the true Hydro Archon. Perhaps Eudex Neuvillette is actually the genuine article.
Huh. I mean, it's a theory. I don't think I buy it, though. Usually the statues are pretty accurate.
I have to find the Gnosis. If the Neuvillette hypothesis is correct, he is probably in possession of it. Alternatively, it might have been hidden in a place that's hard for ordinary people to access.
That seems somewhat more likely. I would buy that it's probably hidden. I think he's weird, Neuvillette. I think he's definitely odd. And if we were in Leeway, I would say he screams Adepti to me. but like obviously he's not that because that's not a thing. I don't think he's the Archon though. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yes, Father.
My dear children, please speak.
News from the fortress of Meripede. Master Child has gone missing. On top of that, the contacts and guards we bribed at the fortress have all gone quiet as well.
Probably the handiwork of that Ridesley.
I'm afraid so.
This is a good opportunity. The value of a Harbinger is much higher than most would imagine. We now have an excuse to exert diplomatic pressure on the Fontaine authorities. Set up a meeting for me. I would like to meet the Hydro Archon and Udex Neuvillette. Oh, and I have an additional mission for you three.
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but I can use it to make a breakthrough. With this as my excuse, I can ask for an official audience and continue my investigation of Farina and Udex Neuvillette.
Uh-huh. That tracks. I was still wondering a little bit, because she seems so unconcerned with Child, for the most part. Like, she's asked a couple times, but she hasn't been very pushy about it. But if her main goal is still figuring everything else out, that makes more sense. At least a little bit.
The initiative belongs to the House of the Hearth. My wish to investigate the fortress of Meripede will be a front. Lenny and his group will be responsible for the actual intelligence gathering. You should know the rest. Lenny's group is quite close to you, so they wouldn't have hidden anything from you.
You attacked the Hydro Archon?
So, yeah, I mean... huh. It's certainly a bold choice to just straight up do that. Like, I get it when Signora did it against Venti. That tracks for both storyline reasons and also he's like supposed to be the weakest of them. But Farina at least should be pretty well established. Like, that's a bold choice. She's a little crazy, isn't she? Yeah, that too.
It wouldn't mean anything even if you shouted it from the rooftops. After all, even Farina herself is still pretending that nothing of that sort ever happened.
Yeah, but like I feel like if she'd done that to certain other archons, in particular, probably A would be the highest on that list. I don't think she'd have a head anymore.
Alright then.
I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Farina. I have to say, the leadership of Fontaine is even more inscrutable than I had imagined. I once surmised that Udex Neuvillette must be the Hydro Archon, but now, that doesn't seem right to me either. I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how a real Archon conducts and carries themselves. Whether Udex Neuvillette or Farina, neither fits the bill. It's hard to imagine either of them as the Archon.
True enough. Although I see Neuvillette as...
Of course, that is all just how I feel. Gut feelings often do not require justification. It is, however, quite amusing to me that after all my years working in intelligence gathering, I've come to realize I am at a complete loss regarding the identity of the god of the land of my birth. Don't you think Fontaine is quite intriguing? A catastrophe looms, yet many secrets have yet to rise to the surface. It looks like Fontainians will have no choice but to save themselves. Ultimately, though, one must survive in order to do anything else. Should the need arise, I would be happy to cooperate with you.
Okay. Huh. That's an interesting offer, actually. Wouldn't have expected it. I'm very wary of it, mind you. Because she's still certainly up to no good. And also very manipulative. Quite frankly, this whole story being told specifically to us seems a little bit like an attempt to go have us run off and ask them about it. Huh. I don't trust that offer.
You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve, and as your name is often connected with noble deeds, I'm sure we will work together someday. He certainly returned quickly. You must want to catch up with each other, so I'll leave you to him.
Neuvillette, is it over?
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. I'm concerned that sooner or later the prophesized events will occur.
Okay, but at least you bought us time to figure something out, hopefully.
Thank you for protecting Farina. To put it simply, I used my power to force back the primordial sea and reseal the sluice gate. So as expected, the knave has turned up the pressure on Farina. She's trying to feel her out, though I'm still unsure as to her motives. Permission granted.
Whoa. It can't be that you're the real Hydro Archon, right? But that's just a speculation on our part, though.
See, what did I say? Now we're coming right out here and asking about it. Out in the open, too. Of course, she's already kind of dismissed those suspicions, assuming she's told the truth, but...
You can't tell us? Then that's okay. We can talk about something else. We won't try to force you. You guys in Fontaine are super strange.
If by the phrase, you guys, you are referring to Farina and I, then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I must clarify that I do not share her positions on a multitude of topics.
Uh-huh. Okay, then.
I believe so. The fortress has a long and complex history. It has seen much grief and suffering. And now, another catastrophe will soon be upon us. I mourn this turn of events.
Huh? Why is it raining all of a sudden?
That's some suspicious timing. Okay, that's the second time we've seen it rain, like, directly related to either his actions, his words, something like that. Is he the Hydro Dragon? I bet you he is. Assuming that the myth is true. Because it was Hydro Dragon, don't cry whenever the rain happens. We'll have to see.
You may be closer to the truth than you think.
Okay, so that's about as close to a yes as I think we're gonna get.
Oh? And what are you thinking? The dragon of... what? Huh?
Please do not be so surprised. Farina?
Neuvillette, are you listening?
That was weird.
My apologies.
Are you good?
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right, did we? You're not actually the Dragon Sovereign of Water, right? Well, if you don't want to confirm or deny...
You guessed correctly.
Ha!
I sincerely hope you'll be able to keep this a secret for me.
I mean, we won't tell anyone. That makes sense, though, why he's got his abilities to push back the water. And the whole one-shotting of child thing.
Right, of course. We'll definitely help you keep it a secret. There's still something Paimon wants to ask you, though.
Please, go ahead.
Well, if you are the Dragon Sovereign of Water, and you were able to force back the Primordial Sea from the fortress, then since Fontaine's prophecy is all about seawater, couldn't you just use your power to solve the crisis?
Oh. Don't ask him that. Clearly the answer is no, or we wouldn't be here.
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world, myself included, possess our full dragonhood.
Huh. Okay. What does that mean?
They say that when the first usurper arrived on Tivat, they seized a part of the dragon's power. Today, that stolen power is the basis of the Archon's authorities.
The Gnosis, then. That's where they came from. That's really interesting.
There are 7 elemental archons and 7 matching dragon sovereigns.
So someone stole your power and gave it to an archon, and that's how the archons were got? But then, they must have stolen a massive chunk if you look at the power level comparison. Or perhaps Celestia did something to alter it. I suppose it's possible.
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. As their successor, I know far less of that part of our ancient history. In any case, I believe I will not be able to do much unless the Archon disappears and returns their elemental authority to me. Given the status quo, however, I would recommend finding another way to deal with the prophecy.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, so even you can't solve it.
I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my office. If you have any more questions regarding ancient history, you are welcome to discuss them with me at a later time.
Please go right ahead. There's a place that Paimon wants to go too. Traveler, why don't we pay another visit to the Fortress of Meripede? Paimon is a little worried. We'll see you another time.
Yeah, hopefully everybody's doing alright.
Take care.
Off we go! Off we go! Weather's not bad today. Oh, crud. I jinxed it. Now it's bound to rain.
Sorry, claim what now? Oh, yeah. I did do that. Gotcha. Yeah, he should be, It's the thing in the inventory. I saw it pop up. I have not like officially read through all the emails. It's somewhere around here. It's this guy, right? Yeah, the little fire sprite. He's very cute. I can put him on.
Oh, wow. Where did that come from?
Does he actually follow you around? No. That's amazing. I love him.
Off we go. You really are a one-trick pony, you know.
He's so cute. Well, that's staying equipped. He's so cute. He does a little spin. He's the most adorable thing ever. Oh. I love that. That is going to be so distracting, but I love him.
Now guess, what suit will this next card be?
A bare-teethed cat?
Well, well, look who it is.
Traveler, Paimon.
Hello, everyone.
Looks like you're recovering nicely from it, eh?
Mm-hmm. Thanks to everyone's support. Oh, right. I managed to work up the courage to thank Miss Clorant in person.
Whoa, how did she react?
She told me that it was nothing. It was as if saving a life wasn't a big deal to her at all. She also told me not to worry about it.
She didn't want to stress you out, that's all. She's right, and it's best not to dwell on it.
Yeah.
Okay, but check this out. We went back to the opera house and we met the knave.
You met Father? Did she say anything to you?
She said a few things that were, a bit hard to understand. And also that she's looking forward to working with us in the future.
Yeah. It was all a bit
Her
odd.
attitude towards you is even better than what we'd imagined. That's fantastic. You should believe her. She has her own way of doing things, and she'll do everything in her power to help those she considers close, which now might also include you.
Mm-hmm. Father is very capable, and also trustworthy.
Oh, Paimon just remembered that she thought Linny was a bit too proud as well. She said that you should learn how to rely on others sometimes.
Got it.
Huh. That does sound like something that Father would say.
Hey!
Are you going to stay here for the next few days?
Probably not.
Looks like it, yeah.
Excellent. I will host a tea party.
So she, like, low-key seems to have been brainwashed a little bit. Not intentionally, either. Apparently it's a consequence of hanging around Risley too much.
For real? Then Paimon wants another serving of cake.
Another implies that you were already served some delicious cake while you were up there. How lovely. Well, next time, you're going to have tea and snacks with us.
Okay. I need to read about him. Because I honestly didn't know pets were, like, a thing you could have. Like, I don't have one. There's gotta be other ways you could get them, too. Oh. He's cute. I feel like the aesthetic with Kniech is pretty crate, too. Like the little blue-green spike. Oh, is he gonna fall? Oh no. What did I say? It was gonna be terribly distracting. There's gotta be like other quests and stuff you can do too, probably. So maybe I'll have to track some of those down. 'Cause that's just a fun feature. There she is.
Is this really necessary?
Hello, Sejuin.
Sejuin! Traveler, Paimon, you're back! Are you still doing alright? Did either of you get hurt? We're fine, but what about you guys? It was such a huge mess. How bad was it? A few people sustained superficial injuries, but that's about the extent of the damage. Monsieur Nervulet paid us a visit. It was all thanks to him that we managed to suppress the crisis for the time being.
No worries. I'll probably be taking a couple minutes break in a minute here too anyway, so.
Oh, of course. We must also thank you for the help you provided. How did Nervulet know that he was needed here? Well, Monsieur Nervulet has strong resonance with the hydro element. When the water level rises, he can feel the waves produced. I ran into the bombshell bros while bandaging the injuries of the wounded. They were mumbling the whole time about how you just ran down without a word. I'm so relieved to see that you're both all right. If you're not too pressed for time, please stay with us a few more days. Just let me know if you get a craving for any particular dish, so I can have Mr. Walsey get your meals prepared. Oh, and please feel free to visit the infirmary for a break at any time. I'd like to take the opportunity to spend some more time observing your facial muscles as well. Your happy smiles are quite contagious, you know. They're so memorable, and I've missed them immensely while you were gone.
Alright, let's go see. Who else have we got? Probably these are our gossip friends. We should reassure that we are alive. Yep, there they are. Quisto and Laveroon.
You guys are back?
Yep, we didn't die. Surprising, I know.
Quisto! Laveroon!
You guys didn't get caught and thrown back down here, right?
Huh? No, not at all.
No, we're just here in prison to hang out, which does sound insane saying it. But, you know, it's fine.
And here I thought you'd managed to escape from jail during all the commotion. I'd held you up as legendary jailbreakers, but now you're telling me you just never left?
Oh no, we left. We just came back. Like idiots.
We're sorry, but we just had some business to take care of.
All right. There's no need to get caught up in the details. We're just relieved to see you. He was super worried about you, you know.
Hey, it wasn't just me. Weren't you super worried as well?
Something like that, yeah. I was also transferred to work in the kitchen a few days ago. I can still hear Quisto mumbling to the carrots. Are those two all right? Do you think they made it out alive? Whenever he'd say that, I'd tell him I'm sure they're fine. Wherever they are, they're kicking back with drinks in hand, enjoying the lovely scenery.
Okay.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with worrying about your prison pals. Is there? I mean, considering how they always love listening to all my gossip.
These two. They sure are a lot warmer and friendlier than when Paimon first met them.
Huh. Yeah, true.
Oh, well, if you say so. I'll be watching you to make sure you finish every last bite.
Okay. Let's see. Who else shall we talk to? Presumably Ridesley would be our other one, / Corinne. When he trails fire particles. That's so good. Okay. Oh. Oh, it's these two.
Couturier? Miss Sishween told me you still haven't eaten.
Yeah, I was working on something, so I forgot.
That's no excuse for... Huh? It's you two.
Junior, Lurvine, we're back!
Hello there. It's been quite the mess here recently. How have you been?
And you? Are you still taking the secret passageway from the infirmary to work on the ship?
Yep. That is still top secret, though. So don't say a word to anyone.
We won't, promise.
It can be a bit annoying when there are lots of people in the infirmary, but I still prefer taking that route over the one from the Duke's office.
I mean, the infirmary does make it easier for you to slack off.
Oh yeah? Then why are you also here so much?
You two really are just using your jobs as a cover for your relationship, aren't you?
Not at all!
Alright, before we go talk to Risley and presumably continue, we're going to take a very brief intermission here. And I'm going to go run and grab some water and a little snack real quick. So I will be back in 5 minutes. I will see you then. And if you are on YouTube watching this, this will be the start of part 2, and you can find a link in the description or at the end of the video. Back in a moment.